from Oxford Brookes University in the United Kingdom. She's a fellow of the Institute of Chartered Accountants of Nigeria, ICANN, and also a fellow of the Association of Chartered Certified Accountants of the United Kingdom. She's a member of the Chartered Professional Accountants of Canada, and she also holds an MBA from the Edinburgh Business School in Scotland. Sola is the managing partner of Booksmart Financial Solutions, an SME-friendly accounting firm, and also the founder and lead coach of Smart Stewards, a platform for teaching sound principles on personal finance management, especially for women. She organizes financial planning trainings for staff of companies and also consults for high net worth individuals. Sola has authored 8 books, her latest being Fit to Fly Financial Plan, which comes free as part of a course that started on the 1st of July. Other books authored by Sola include May I Have My Money, The Real Profit, 40 Frugal Rules for Your Journey to Financial Freedom, and a practical and pragmatic guide for wealth management. All our books are available on Amazon and other leading books distributors. Sola hosts Smart Stewards podcast on Anchor, where she shares quick tips on finance. She's a recipient of the Women Health Scholarship and an initiative of the World Bank and Pan-Atlantic University for Female Entrepreneurs. She has also been recognized by the Guardian Nigerian News as one of Nigeria's 100 most inspiring women for the year 2020. Sola is happily married with children. So we welcome Coach Sola Adesakin, my personal coach and sister, to BABES Redefined today. This is the 3rd session in our Value Me 2020 program, and it is themed The Future Now. And Sola is going to be talking to us on making and managing wealth at a time like this. So we believe that everybody is ready to listen to her. Somebody says, wow, every resume. Beyond that, Sola is a fantastic Christian human being. So let us learn and to assimilate a lot from her today. She has a lot to give. I can tell you that for free. So let us welcome her, and then can leave the floor for Coach Sola to start. So let's welcome Coach Sola to BABES Redefined today. Welcome, Ma. The floor is yours, Ma.
Thank you so much. I am totally excited to be here. Thank you.
Welcome.
Thank you for having me. I hope you can hear me very clearly.
Yes.
Confirm you can hear me. All right. Thank you so much. I am totally excited to be here. It's been a long day, but I actually looked forward to this evening, and I am really, really hopeful that we would have an amazing time. And of course, there'll be a lot of insights and revelational knowledge. Thank you so much, Pastor Maury, for having me and for the honor. So today we will be talking about something really, really important. I know that the speakers that have gone ahead of me have, done an amazing job talking to us about value. I particularly like, just give me a minute, please. I particularly like the, I particularly like the topic, Value Me. And I know that we definitely would have a very beautiful time together. Okay, so yes, Value Me. I will be sharing my screen, and I hope I have, okay, awesome. Thank you. Just 1 minute to share my screen.
Can I say the money I will pay through GHM?
Please confirm you can see my screen.
I guess when I bring the goods, I'm not.
Can you see my screen?
I'm done.
Can you see my screen?
Yes.
Awesome. All right. Thank you again. Thank you again for having me. Today, we will be talking about wealth creation and empowerment. I believe this is a community of believers, and peradventure we have people who are watching who are not Christians. Trust me, I'm not going to force anything spiritual or religious down your throat. But I would really like to share some insights from the Bible as the basis for my discussion today. For a few people who might not know me, just a bit of introduction, and then, I go right into my presentation. Thank you so much, Ibinike, for that introduction. My name is Sola Adesakin, and I'm the lead coach and founder of the Smart Stewards. Without much ado, I'm a chartered accountant with about 18 years experience, and I'm an investment coach. And, my passion basically is to help people maximize not just their finances, but their resources. Of course, like she said, I've got about 8 books, and they're all available, on Amazon as well. Just a few recognitions here and there, on the media, in TV and all of that. The reason I'm doing this is to just give a bit of background about myself, about what I do, about what I stand for, to those who probably up until now might not have, heard about me. Yes, so as we go into this presentation or this discussion, there are a few things I would like to share with you, a few myths that I would like to knock off our thinking, so to say. And, as women, we have some of these things that pressure us here and there. And, talking about value, talking about creation, value creation, talking about understanding who we are and how we can maximize what God has put inside of us. I clocked 40 about a month ago. And, the pressure, like I said, that women go through, not just women, everybody generally. I was talking to a group of people last week, and I was trying to explain to them that, even before you were born, right from when you were conceived, there has been pressure, a lot of pressure around you. Many of you know about families who have all boys and who are trying to get a girl, or who have all girls and are trying to get a boy. And then when the woman goes for a scan, and they'll be like, hey, you're having a girl again. And she's like, ooh, already there is an enormous amount of pressure on the baby that is just 12 or 13 weeks old, because there were expectations that she was supposed to come as a boy, but now that she's a girl, the father is probably not happy, especially as it happens in some tribes in Nigeria. So the pressure has always been there. Pressure from within, pressure from without, pressure from loved ones, pressure from family members, pressure out of a place of love, pressure out of a place of contention. Okay, so these are some of the things we face every now and then as women. 22 major things you should have accomplished before you are 30. The net worth you should have before you are 40. The things you should have done before you are 25. And day in, day out, the internet practically inundates us with some of these things. And if you're not careful, we get caught up in some of these metrics. We get caught up in the way the world measures things. Quantity over quality. You look at your friend is saying, my child attends this school. Actually, this school period, my children's school, they do a lot of online, whatever, and then, and then the comparison game, happens all of the time. We're talking about value today, and I'm hoping that, through the help of God, some of us would realize and come to understand some of the value, some of those innate things that, we only need to tap into. You just need to come into an awareness of what God has put inside of you and what you are supposed to manifest. And not by the metrics of the world, the metrics that people use to measure success. So have you seen some of these things before? 10 things you should do, 10 signs, 10 things that will show you that your child is this, or 20 things to show you that your husband is this. We all have to be secure in who we are. We have to be secure in, an awareness that comes from within. Honestly, I like the term, value me, but it has to start by you saying, I value me. So before you can tell people to value you, you have to also value yourself. You need to realize what you have got within. You have to realize the enormity of the potential that God has put inside of you. Okay, these are just foundational things, and I am going to, go into the conversation very soon. So rather than 20 things you should have done, it's okay to pressure yourself in an attempt to motivate yourself to do better. See, there are pressures that are positive, there are pressures that are negative. I would rather go with me pressuring myself based on what I need to do, what I know I have to do. And it is not coming from externalities. It is not coming from what people say. I know I'm going to be talking to you about empowerment, how you can make more money. But I have realized that there is a psychology to money. And it comes all from the heart. It comes from within. If I come here today and I start to say, save money, manage money, multiply money, you have heard it time and without number. Okay, so money itself has a psychological part to it. And that's why I am starting from this point of view. There's a particular slide I took off this one, but I wish I didn't take it out of it. But these are some common psychological beliefs that we all tend to have. You see, wealth is how do I put it now? Wealth is an outcome of a set of circumstances, set of actions, set of action points, set of beliefs. So wealth is not just something you want to attain without attaining some other things. I tell people my life changed regarding building wealth when my mindset changed, when my conditioning changed. So it starts from the mind. And that's why, life coaches will tell you your mindset is important. You need to aspire. You need to be inspired. Some of those quotes, those things may look very ambiguous and vague and vain and big, but honestly, for you to attain a place of wealth, for you to become what you're meant to be, for you to build wealth and sustain wealth, it has to come from your mind. And that's why I'm taking a bit of time to explain that. You see, especially money. Money is one of the metrics that people use to measure people. You get into a room as a lady, they look at the kind of bag you have. They look at the kind of weave you're wearing. They look at the kind of wristwatch you're wearing. And then you talk, they try to see. They try to perceive your background based on your accent and your intonation. The pressure is insane. Okay, so you have got to make up your mind that you know what? This is one life I am going to live, and I am going to maximize my life. I am going to live an amazing life, not at the mercy of anybody, but based on what God has put inside of me. So replace some of those things that bring pressure your way, some of those things that you read on the internet, in conversations. Replace them. Rather than 40 things you should do before, how about 40 things I can do in my 40s? 40 things I can do to live an amazing life. 10 things I can do every day to live an amazing life. How about replacing it with things like, it is never too late to be what I might have been? How about replacing it with things like, I can live my best life starting now. I may be 45, I may be 50, but it is never too late to amass wealth. It is never too late to build wealth. It is never too late to live the kind of life I have always dreamt of. Okay, again, these are foundational things and just a few metrics. I shared this last week, and I thought somebody here might also find it very insightful and useful, is why I'm sharing it again before I go into my presentation. A few of the celebrities that we know that started quite late. Nowadays, this is the age of the millennials. I've been to a TV recording today where, the people that were there with me, the moderator and one other guest, maybe in their 20s, 26, 27, and they're the people that call you by name. These are the days of the millennials, and everybody feels that if you have not done some things by 30, you probably are late to the party. Okay, there are people that some of them you probably might have heard about there that started quite. So when it comes to building wealth, when it comes to making money, when it comes to starting a business, when it comes to empowerment, it can start anywhere and anytime. I remember, if you have watched the movie Black Panther, the oldest cast of that movie was an 88-year-old woman, and she learned how to act just 3 years before the movie was shot. Okay, now there's no way you would mention that movie that you would not mention her name, even though she debuted full-time, full-scale at 88, okay? So Stan Lee, Vera Wang, Martha Stewart, Simon Cowell, that we all know, Robin Chase, Samuel L. Jackson, Barack Obama, Henry Ford, of course, the popular founder of KFC, Colonel Sanders. And in fact, he actually became a millionaire at 73. And look at it today, we still have KFC working stronger. So why am I starting with this? I'm going to be talking about wealth. I'm going to be talking about finances. I'm going to be talking about how you can live an amazing life. But I need you to just ditch that belief that when am I going to start? When am I actually going to start? Is it not too late for me? Okay. So let me go into my presentation. Anybody that listens to me would know that there's no presentation that I would say or that I will give without mentioning some of these fundamental things. 3 things to do with money. Yes, we are going to talk about empowerment. Some of you are going to get light bulb moments about what you can do. But when you make the money, when you start to make the money, realize that 3 things you can do to your money would be to make it, to manage it, and to multiply it. And of course, in recent times, I have started to also make people realize that even though we all are focusing our gaze on making money, as in the amount of cash you have in the bank, the amount of your net worth, the cars you have, you know, the houses you have and all of that, there are actually 4 types of wealth. Financial wealth, which talks about acquisitions and money. Social wealth, which talks about status, and not just the kind of status, celebrity status that we all know about, the kind of impact you are having on your society and people around you. It is important. You may not have money in your bank account, but honestly, you are somebody who people pray for every night before you go to bed. You are wealthy. You have social wealth, okay? So it's a matter of time, financial wealth will catch up with you. Now, physical wealth, talking about health and fitness, I mean, needless to say that in times like this, it's been quite difficult for a lot of families. There's hardly anybody who has not lost anybody, or there's hardly anybody who doesn't know somebody who has lost somebody this season because of COVID and all of that. If you're still alive, you wake up every day, you can raise your hands and all of that, honestly, you are wealthy because you have physical wealth. And of course, time wealth, good management of time. So some of these things, you know, when we put things in proper perspective, I may not have all the millions I have in that I desire in my bank account, but trust me, I know people are praying for me. I know I'm influencing people. I get messages to say, you know what, thank God for what you're doing. For me, that is wealth, okay? Because again, it is not always about money, and then physical wealth and time wealth. So let me go into the presentation of today, and I'm going to be reading from the Bible about a woman that we all are familiar with, a woman that we all have heard a story. I've read a story because I believe it depicts in the actual sense of it, you know, the true meaning of value. 2 Kings chapter 4, I'll read from verses 1 to 7. Just, you know, come along with me. A certain woman of the wives of the sons of the prophets cried out to Elisha, saying, your servant, my husband, is dead, and you know that your servant feared the Lord. And the creditor is coming to take my 2 sons to be slaves. So Elisha said to her, what shall I do for you? Tell me, what do you have in the house? And she said, your maidservant has nothing in the house but a jar of oil. Then he said, go borrow vessels from everywhere, from all your neighbors, empty vessels. Do not gather just a few. When you have come in, you shall shut the door behind you and your sons, and pour it into all those vessels, and set aside the full ones. Verse 5, so she went from him and shut the door behind her and her sons, who brought the vessels to her, and she poured it out. Now it came to pass, when the vessels were full, that she said to her son, bring me another vessel. And he said to her, there is not another vessel. So the oil ceased. Then she came and told the man of God, and he said, go sell the oil, pay your debt, and you and your sons live on the rest. I love the story so much. And for a better part of my, you know, me teaching from this story, because right after this particular passage was the story of the Shunammite woman. 2 different women, 2 different circumstances. When you talk about wealth building, 2 different results, 2 different outcomes, 2 different backgrounds. But, you know, in recent times, the Holy Spirit has been ministering to me a lot about, you know, this woman. I focused more on the Shunammite woman because, you know, you will say there was a Shunammite woman, she was wealthy, she was hardworking and all of that. But there's so much story when it comes to value, so much lessons to learn from this particular woman. I know we all have read this story, we're quite familiar with it. And more often than not, you see, we just read the story and then we finish the story where the Bible finishes the story. The Bible says, okay, and then the oil stayed, and then she had so much oil. And then, you know, she went to meet the servant of God, and servant of God said, go and sell the oil. And then she and her sons lived happily ever after. But I want to tell you today that the story of this woman actually started from after she had so much oil. And I'm going to be sharing with you, I will come back to this scripture in and out. I picked out 6 V's from which I'll be sharing with you, talking about value, talking about empowerment. I believe that, I mean, you can open the story by the side, but you just go with me here and, you know, I'll be oscillating between this slide and the last slide. Now, this woman, just like every one of us, did not realize the amount of potential and raw value she had in her house. Now, today is not the day to talk about why her husband left her in debt. No, we are not doing that today. Now, we're not going to talk about the mistakes they made in the past, why they did not save, why the man was chasing after the prophet and he was not taking care of his family, and why he did not have retirement plans, and why he did not plan for the future, and why he did not save, and why he went to borrow. We're not going to talk about that today because all things are passed away. I am talking to women who are going to take advantage of the beautiful things ahead in 2020. See, I've been telling people, and I have this surreal, this palpable feeling about 2020 in my heart. And one of the things that God helps me with is my power of imagination. I know 2020 has been a very tough and challenging year for a lot of people. Like I said earlier on, some people have died, some people have struggled, some people are still struggling, some people have lost their jobs, some people's businesses are in a state of disarray. Some people do not even know what would happen next month. You know, some people's businesses have collapsed. Now, those are some of the old things that I mentioned, especially relating it to this woman. We're not going to talk about the depths of January to June 17th. Today is 18th, right? Now we want to look at the enormity, the amount of potentials that lie ahead of us in the remaining part of 2020. For one, I believe that there are so many amazing things ahead of us in 2020. I tell people who are quite close to me, this has been my most amazing year in terms of income, in terms of profitability, in terms of expansion, in terms of knowledge, in terms of, you know, just expanding and stretching myself. And I tell people, don't be caught away, don't get caught up in what people are saying about 2020. This year is such a bad year. This year will not come again. Don't miss it. Don't miss the point. Because if you continue to look at things from that point of view, you will not be able to leverage on the opportunities that are ahead. When I find myself in the midst of discussions talking about how bad 2020 has been and how bad it may be, honestly, I just take a walk because I don't want to be found in such conversations that would affect my thinking about what is ahead. Now, this woman did not realize that there was a jar of oil, a bottle of oil that had the potential of changing her fortune. Now, it took the man of God to bring her into the awareness that, you know what do you have in your house? Split second, like we all answer, I don't have anything. I don't have anything. When I ask people, so what can you do to make more money or to do business? I don't have anything. That's the default answer. And the woman said, okay, well, except for a jar of oil. You know, the creditors had been chasing her for so long. I mean, she had been under so much pressure that she did not even realize the potential of the jar of oil. You see, when we talk about value me, remember it starts from you saying, I, Adeshola, put your name. I value me. I must value. You see, one of my mentors would say, nobody would say thou art until you, first of all, will say, I am. It starts from you. But sometimes it might take years for us to discover the potentials that we have, that it will take an external person to point us in the direction. We're talking about empowerment. The empowerment starts from you, my sister. Some of us are waiting for a windfall. Some of us are waiting for somebody who would help us. It's good to seek for people's help. It's good to wish for miracles. But honestly, you have a major role to play for that miracle, for that help to be substantial, for you to be able to achieve or attain something tangible out of it. And so she came into the awareness because somebody pointed her to it and said, you know what, that oil, that small oil, you know what you're going to do? You're going to have to go and borrow vessels, not a few. And that's why I'm here today. I'm challenging you. I launched a course called Digitalize Your Diamonds a few months ago in April, in the heat of COVID. And one of the things, earlier in the year, when this year started, I didn't even know that I was going to teach a course that would help people understand their potentials, their diamonds, And God just gave me some ideas. I'm like, wow, share from your experiences. People will think because I'm a chartered accountant would mean that, I've had control over my finances from the get-go. No, I was probably dumber than there's any word like that. Some people wouldn't not even, go to school. When it came to my story and my life changed, when my mindset, when I came into the realization of the fact that, you know what, I am more than this and I can do this. I studied as a chartered accountant, qualified about 18 years ago. But accounting, functionally, I still do some of those accounting things, but I realized that meaningful work is much more than what you have studied in school. So we're talking about this empowerment. Some of us we're chasing things that would not bring us money. We're chasing things that do not amount. You're still trying to lay hold on things that, this woman must have gone around begging everybody. She has begged the creditors, she has begged neighbors. You didn't know when your husband was chasing the man of God, doing son of prophets all around. For us to be empowered this season, we need to go after knowledge. One of the things I am realizing in recent times is that you cannot elevate above the level of what you know, honestly. Knowledge distinguishes you. Knowledge sets you apart. Knowledge makes you more valuable. And I have bought courses. I have been on courses. Apart from teaching courses myself, I have impacts wisdom. And no one, I think it is Isaiah 11, I can't remember now. It says, the spirit of wisdom and the spirit of understanding. It says the spirit of counsel and the spirit of might. It says the spirit of quick understanding in the fear of God. I have seen knowledge practically take me from one level to another dimension. The amount of new things I have learned, I have been able to, change the way I think, of course. It's an ongoing process, don't get me wrong. Change the value that I give. I'm more confident if I'm going to say, you know what, you want me to coach you. Something confident, know that I am going to give them value. So this woman came into a realization about something she had. Some of us, you see, the key to our next level is just realizing it is, you are aware. The woman was seeing the oil every day, but she never, you talk so well. You dress so well. You thank you. That's how they have been saying it since the last 20 years. In fact, in my secondary school, they know me back then. I used to be the one to coordinate. Look, and God is saying, you're just sitting on a gold mine. The woman kept walking past the oil, but she never realized the potential that the oil had. So, number one challenge I am giving us today is, ladies, sisters, we need to upgrade the level of knowledge we operate at. Don't forget what I said. Your life cannot be elevated above the knowledge you have. Knowledge would impact wisdom. Knowledge would lead you in the way to go. Wisdom will return value to you. So when we're talking about empowerment, you need to empower yourself, first of all, by investing in self-development. See, people are saying COVID 2020 is bad, is great. But you know what? One of the blessings of COVID, one of the blessings of this year is another or would never have been able to access or approach. But because of COVID, and I'll give you an example. Within my investment club, last week, we had a Zoom meeting with one of the multi-billionaires in Nigeria. He's the MD of Rain Oil. If not for COVID, so I will now go to his office. I trust myself. I know what I carry. I know that I can persuade it. I would have been able to persuade it, but it might not have happened in 2 years. So I said, sir, we have an investment club. We want you to come and talk to us, you know. And then one thing led to another. He agreed. And of course, we had a virtual meeting. Access. Some of us have gone for webinars that, you know, people that you never would have been able to have access to. You have listened to them. COVID. Yeah, don't get me wrong. COVID has also caused knowledge constipation, because some people have gone for webinar upon webinar upon webinar. Their whole brain have been webinarized. They don't even know what to do. If you are such, sit down, analyze. Okay? The ones that are useful for you, take them. The ones that are not useful, just discard. Some of us are even hoarding knowledge. You know how it is, you buy something, you hoard. You are hoarding knowledge. Knowledge that you do not use will become soon outdated. Knowledge is meant to be used, implemented immediately. So, knowledge, for one, I know that the day I started to think at a higher level, I was able to attract more resources. I was able to attract more people. I was able to get into some circles that ordinarily I would not have been able to access. So this lady came into the awareness. After the man of God spoke to her, she looked at that oil with a different perspective, with a different mindset. Now, she wasn't arguing like, this job ordinary that I bought from, you said I should go and borrow. So some of us, God has been speaking, people have been speaking. You are waiting to be empowered, you are waiting for money, but people have always been telling you, you speak well, you can do this well, you can do that well, you know how to do this well. I are still saying, no, I'm not equipped enough. Oh no, I do not know. I am not sure I can do it. Knowledge, mindset shift, mindset change. Do you believe that the remaining months or days in 2020 can mark a totally different level of accomplishments for you? Do you believe it? It is possible. Okay? The second thing I see in this woman is virtue and versatility. Now, I'll talk about virtue first of all. And work and relate with, pick those ones. If you cannot relate to anybody, everything there. Some people say, no, it's not. It's just a fiction of the imagination of the writer, whoever wrote. Okay, whatever it is, actually, there are good things there. The ones you can pick from them. Now, remember that story I read. I mean, that scripture. We all finished the story where they said she now turned the oil from one bottle, into many bottles, into many drums. Now, picture in your mind. They borrowed containers like we have, containers that have cover. In those days, I'm sure they had all those big pots, all those big plastics that would not have covers. Okay, so this woman's, how do I put it now? The job, the responsibilities she had just started or just increased after that miracle. Because do you think it would have been easy for her to sell that oil in that state? So she must have put in a lot of work going out to tell people to say, you know what, I have this oil, beautiful oil, amazing oil. It is, in fact, how could she have described that oil? It was raw, pure, organic, undiluted, untainted oil. So she had the responsibility of going around, marketing the oil, telling people about the oil, persuading them to come and buy the oil, talking to our sisters, talking to our associate people, talking to our community members. Do you know that the gift of marketing is not something that is just, that's why you see some people making more money than others. And I think that there's this conditioning also that most people, Africans, that we need to do without, we need to do away with. Some of us still, I talk to people so I know what I'm saying. Some of us still feel funny asking people for money when you provide services or you sell products. It feels funny that they are owing me money. Maybe they will pay. I don't want to make them think I am desperate or about the money that you rightly own. I mean, you provided services and products. Then say, I don't know, I don't want to charge them. We feel funny. So give it to this woman. She had to also persuade people to come and buy the oil. And that is where virtue comes in. Waking up at night sometimes. There's a lady that sells stuff around my area. All those Ijebu Sunday market women. Now, there's this woman that sells every Sunday, but in the last 2 months, I see that she has started to sell on Saturdays. She comes in from Ijebu, maybe Friday night, vegetables, pepper, and all of that. So she sells all through Saturdays, and then Sundays again. You still see the vegetables fresh. I had to ask her recently. I said, is it that you go back on Saturday to Ijebu to bring? She has made arrangements. Somebody brings new ones on Sunday. Virtue. As I drove past her today, I was like, what's going on in this woman's mind? Of course, she sells out on Sundays already. What gave her that impetus, or what motivated her to start to sell on Saturday? There's another woman who comes Sunday morning from Ijebu, not far from her. But what was the motivating factor? Virtue, diligence, ability to be able to say, you know what, this is what we are doing. And that is what versatility means. Some of us are still saying, I don't know how to. I can know how to. I've had women around me, a teacher who has become a caterer this COVID period, while some people are still complaining. I've seen people who would usually not even go into a line of business, who are improvising already. Virtue and versatility. So this woman did not only become, somebody that knew how to pour oil. She became a marketer. She could convince people. She became an accountant because she had to account for the money they were making. So she became a marketer. She became a sales expert. She became a marketer. She became an inventory person measuring the remaining amount of oil. And you think, so she just paid her debts and that was it. And she had extra money. She probably would have gone into a bigger oil business. What are you saying? And then she now started to probably sell oil on a bigger scale. There's so much to that woman that we still need to dissect and understand. I believe that particular encounter opened her up into bigger opportunities. Some of us are here, we're still like, honestly, I don't think I can do some things. You know what, I'm not sure I can. I don't have a knack for this, kind of things. And we are talking about empowerment. Empowered women are the ones that can empower others. And sometimes the journey of empowerment is not easy. Sometimes God takes you through stuff so that you can help people and you can relate with people. Some of us, we are forming too posh to do some things. You're like, me, they cannot even, I can't do it, oh, me. And then you're saying, God, use me. Go and look at all the people that God used in the Bible. They had stories. And from their stories, look at Joseph. He was looking after his father's sheep, at least with his brothers, and at that level. They sold him, he went into Potiphar's house. He started to demonstrate the gift of administration. He went to the prison. That gift of administration had blossomed. So you think that becoming prime minister, just saying, okay, sir, this is the dream, this is the interpretation. Do you think he would have been able to interpret at that level without understanding the dynamics of administration? You think it was just favor and miracle that gave him that prime ministerial role? If you want God to use you, you've got to be empowered. And you must be ready to go through the motion, whatever journey God wants you to go through. 3 years ago, was it 2017 or so? I mean, I tell this story a lot. I've been qualified. I have ACC, I have CP. My qualifications are from 3 different continents. Like they say, by all standards, I'm not many people's mates career-wise. That's on a lighter note. I was consulting for a company and I'll take my lunch to work. But, around noon, I would feel peckish. I was like, VI, come and buy snacks. The snacks we have to buy, we will take Keke Marwa. It will cost us 500. Come to go and buy meat pie and scotch egg. So around this place, nobody sells. They said, no. One day, I just had a brainwave. On my way home, I just looked around where I live for somebody. I said, there will be people selling snacks. Fortunately, I saw a store. So I said, you know what? Can I resell these snacks for you? Yeah, I'm going to resell. Yeah. Oh, really? Okay. Today is Thursday. Tomorrow morning on my way, I'm going to stop by. I'm going to buy some snacks. So I went there on Friday morning. Without prior notice, I took the snacks to work. Egg roll, fish roll, all those things, meat pie. I gave it to the office assistant. Within 1 hour, she came back, empty bowl. She had sold out. So people were waiting for people or for someone to take the lead or to fill the gap. So I went back home on my way and I said, girl, I'm not even reselling. I want to learn how to do it. That was then. She came home that Saturday after church on Sunday and she taught me how to make all of those things. So I usually would make fun of myself and I'll tell people, I'm not only a chartered accountant, I'm a chartered egg roll maker, chartered donut maker. You know what? Actually, in retrospect, apart from learning how to do those things, it gave me a better insight and understanding into some of the things that small business owners face, especially those who are manufacturers in terms of costing. So you see, yes, it was an additional source of income, but it gave me deeper insight. At this level, I could actually consult for restaurant owners because I know a bit of what goes into costings and all of that. So there's no skill lost. Some of us will say, I can't do. Some people here, they know me. I tell people I'm not kidding you. Let me be modest. 10 sources of income. In the last 3 or 4 years, there has been no day that I haven't received a bank alert. Today is Saturday. I can show you my bank. Tomorrow is Sunday. By the special grace of God, so that it doesn't look as if I'm bragging, I will receive alert. Why? Because you know what? The Bible says, cast your bread upon many waters. Versatility and virtue. Some of us, we are just stuck in the way we think. We're like, I can never do it. I can never learn it. It is not my thing. Oh, I don't have a knack for it. No way. Now, the next V, valiant and vigor. I'm telling you that, see, we have grossly underestimated the power that woman carried. We have been focusing on the Shunammite woman's story, which followed that particular woman's story. You know what it takes to have gallons and gallons of oil? Oil. As in, oh, hey, for somebody who was not a business owner, she probably was a housewife when her husband was going around with a prophet. But this woman took up the challenge. We have talked about versatility and virtue. Vigor. Ladies, if you want to be empowered, you must be ready to go out of your way, to be vigorous and to be valiant, to be full of strength, to be full of power and determination to live an amazing. I don't know why I'm saying this, but I'm saying this again. It is only empowered women that can empower others. And we're talking about value me. Remember I said, it starts from I value me. You've got to be vigorous. See, times have changed and times are changing. Things are changing. This is the new normal. And see, a lot of new normal will still be unveiled. Technology is the in thing. Brick and mortar business, maybe as time goes on. In fact, somebody did analysis recently. The biggest companies around the world, they probably don't even have their own structures when it comes to business. Amazon might have their warehouse and all of that, but majority of the products they sell, is it their own? No. People list products with them. How many cars does Uber have? How many cars does Taxify have? Now, that is people leveraging on other people's resources, other people's time. We have a lot to contend with though, these days. And one of the things that I'm encouraging people to go after, 3 things: knowledge, technology, collaboration. Now, this woman didn't do it alone. Let's start from the collaboration bit. The Bible says that the man of God said, enter into your house. Number 1, before you enter into your house, go and get your neighbors, borrow from them. Now, look at me. If the neighbors knew what she was going to use their vessels for, would they have given her? If they had that knowledge, if they had that prophetic advantage that she had, do you think they would have given her? Lie me, say, if I want miracles, you say, borrow me your vessels. No, but she needed people. She had gotten the knowledge, she had gotten the awareness, and she was going to tap into it. So she got all the vessels, the power of collaboration. Some of us want to do things just by ourselves. You tell people, this idea, God has not given it. It's only me. By the time I unleash that idea, you're deceiving yourself. God gives ideas in different ways to different people. Those that run with it are the ones that will make something out of it. And then she leveraged on the sons that they were going to take away. They became her partners. They were the ones, pour, give me another one. The oil has stayed. Okay, now that the oil has stayed, would they not have to return the vessels they borrowed? So they needed also people to help them sell. Would they have been able to walk all the breadth and length of Jerusalem? No, they needed people. Valiance and vigor. This season requires that we leverage on people, not in a parasitic way, but in a symbiotic way. Form symbiotic relationships. You bring value to the table, I bring value to the table, we exchange value, we empower ourselves. We are watching one another's back. We are helping ourselves to become better. I have a resource, I have a friend. See, I have different friends for different things. I love my friends, my very, very few close friends, but we share knowledge. She comes across something she thinks will be very useful for me. She sends it to me. I'm like, wow, videos, materials. I'm like, what? Where did you get this? How did you know I know? She would say, I know you, Shola. This is what you need. That is collaboration. She's helping me increase in knowledge. She knows I read a lot. So she's always sending materials. I have friends that I know, you know what, this is what you need. I send it away. Collaboration. I know how to leverage on technology. I put it in courses. I teach people. There are some things I do not know. I mean, this season I've had to collaborate with some top shots that's why I'm saying COVID is a blessing. There are people I've never had access to work. Through COVID, I've been able to say, you know what, let's do this together. Outside of the country. I did something with a firm in Mauritius, one of the biggest firms. And I just saw them online. LinkedIn, the lady sent me a message. I'm like, wow. She sends me a message. But she might be useful Cool. We've done something together and it is big. Another company here, another person here. Collaboration, valiance and vigor. Now, after saying all of this, by the time you put all of these things into motion, expect to be victimized. I think on my tweet, on a tweet today, I mentioned the fact that, you know what? You do well, you don't do well, people will talk about you. People will victimize you. People will envy you. People will backbite you. So empowered women and women who are seeking to be empowered, get ready for it. It's part of it. People who do not know where you have started from or what you have been through or what you're going through, they will victimize you. Now this woman now that she has paid her debt, some people might say, oh, you don't know me. She has some guys that, because don't forget, the man of God said, shut your door after you. So a lot of people might not have even known the secret behind the oil and the multiplication. And some people say, when did her husband die? It was 1 month ago. See, already she's buying a car. She's buying a house. Oh, in fact, she's moving out of the neighborhood. They don't know what has gone on behind the scenes. So some of us, the reason I'm also adding this point is because we get a little inundated by what people say. It is natural to feel like, hey, they're talking about me. The truth is, whether you do well or not, they will talk about you. So Kuku, do well. Don't let anybody dull your shine. Kuku, leave that. Give them something to talk about. Okay? Victimization. You would be victimized. People will, there's nobody. Social media, especially these days of social media, you know, a lot of things are out there. The ones you do well, the ones you don't do well, people will talk about you. They will drag you today, hail you tomorrow. Such is life. If people shout, yeah, man of the moment, woman of the moment, they will be the first to drag you if you make one single mistake like this. So if you're seeking to be empowered, you have to drown the noises around you and have few voices that you can listen to. Okay? Please, how many minutes, ma'am? I'm rounding off in a bit. Now, the most important thing for empowerment, which, you know, I'm just going to touch on these last 2 points, value chain creation. I tell people that, you see, money gravitates towards value. Some of us are praying, we go to church, we do night vigil. Father, give me money, I want money. And I like to share from the parable of the talents in Matthew 25. Remember that story? The servant was going on a long journey. He gave 1 5, he gave 1 2, he gave 1 1. When he came back, did he come back with additional resources? No. The people here were the ones who multiplied their resources, and then what he simply did was to reallocate resources. He collected from the one person who didn't know how to give, who didn't know how to use his resources, and gave it to the person that had 10 already. What God does is reallocation. All of us still pray, open the good windows of heaven, open the treasure of heaven. God, yes, He's going to open them, but see, your money, the money you want, the money you need is right here on earth. God is just going to do a reallocation. But you see, money will flow to you based on the amount of value you can bring to the table. I am encouraging everybody on this call. This is the time to really do an introspection. If there was no oil, there would have been no basis for multiplication. If you multiply 1 million by 0, what do you get? 0. If you multiply 1 million by 2, what do you get? 2 million. There must be a basis. There must be a base factor. There must be something that God will bless. That's what I'm saying. When we talk about wealth creation, you must look at yourself and say, what do I have? No matter how small, no matter how little. See, if you apply the power of geometric progression or exponential growth as against linear growth, it will amaze you. Let's do a quick math. 2 times 2, 4. Continue to multiply by the base factor of 2. 4 times 2, 8. Right? 8 times 2, 16. 16 times. Continue to multiply. It goes up and up and up like that. There must be something that you have, okay, that you must discover. I tell people there are 4 diamonds that everybody has at least. Your childhood competencies, your aptitudes are competencies, things that you have learned, that you have gone to school, to learn, your experiences, and then your personality. Those are 4 diamonds that can make you money anyhow. Okay, so You must create value. And the question is, what value can I bring to the table? Let me tell you, 10 years ago, I was flat broke. I was earning well, but I couldn't even manage my resources so well. So I was broke. And, maybe 12 years ago, yes. And I was always back to square one regarding my finances. And I was a salary close to $500,000. And I'll be like, 2 days after, 1 week after, where's this money? I didn't have a clue. Today, I literally forget monies in bank accounts. I am not where I want to be, but I cannot be ungrateful. Okay, so the mindset change. But you know what? I bring value to the table at any level. And all I've been able to do is, bring my skills and talents to the table. What can I teach? What can I do? What can I sell for people? I do affiliate marketing. Some of those things may look small, like one of my friends calls it shame money. There are things that look like this thing is beneath you. But you are learning processes. You are learning structures. You are learning systems. So that when you become big in quote, some of the things you have learned, you will be able to put them or bring them to the table. So value, when we are talking about empowerment, you must have something. I encourage you read the Cash Flow Quadrant by Robert Kiyosaki. It says you can make money as an employee, self-employed, business owner, and investor. Find somewhere to plug yourself in. When we talk about business, it's not, like I said, it's not about having brick and mortar structure or business. It is about leveraging on people's resources, other people's time, other people's money. You are saying, okay, friend, what can we do together? You bring the skill to the table. I bring the access. I know people. Let us collaborate to do something. Drop shipping. You're leveraging on other people's products. You're selling their products. You are learning a skill. You're combining with another person's skill. You guys are creating value. Where there's value, there will be money. So value was created for the woman. Money came. But she learned to manage and properly distribute it. And that's where making, managing, and multiplying money comes in. So ideally, when I talk about money, there's some other things I would have loved to share, but maybe I can touch on those things in questions and answers. But, as I wrap up this conversation, I want to encourage you. See, I know beyond and apart from the fact that God has told me that the best of 2020 is about to be unleashed. Honestly, there's so much in 2020 that, we can leverage on, literally, like, it is palpable. There are so many things that we can do in terms of wealth creation. But again, it has to start from you. Because the prophet could have given that woman money. People bless the prophet now. People will give him prophet. You could have said, hey, how much are you owing? Remember, prophetic offering back then, the seed for the prophet, sons of the prophet. The prophet would have been able to, offset the debt. And you know what? Okay. And you know why I'm saying that? It was this same prophet, Elisha, right after the woman's story, in the next verse, that the story of the Shunammite woman who was very rich. So do you think Elisha could have said, Shunammite woman, give me some hundreds, whatever, I want to give to this woman? No. See, money is not what you need. Money is good, yes. You need money, literally, but for your next levels, to build wealth and to create value, money is just what you need is your skills, your talent, your knowledge, the right collaboration with the right people. And then you know what? It will blow. Okay, so these are just 7 V's. I hope that we'll go back to that scripture and learn from it. I already mentioned this, what you need this season. Acquire more knowledge. Learn. Technology. This is the time. Go and learn everything about tech. I'm not saying social media. Just be scrolling on social media. No. Learn the skills. There's a site called Fiverr where, people bring different digital skills to the table. Those who can do PowerPoint slides. I'm an author of 8 books. My last 4 or 5 books, I've used people on Fiverr. Some from India, some from Pakistan. somebody created this 40 Fugue Rose, the cover page. Somebody did it for me from Pakistan. Real Profit, a person that designed the inside for me from maybe India. I'm doing another work, my new book, printing it this week. The person who is doing the pagination and layout is in Canada. I don't even know them. I just go on Fiverr, pay, it's done. What can you bring to the table? I've recorded videos during the COVID period that before now you'd have thought there's nobody to come and help you record, you can't do it. Majority of the videos, I used an online software to record over slides, voice over slides. This is the time to say, is this not the time to say, I don't know technology, I'm not a techie person. When I hear that word, I just smile. If you are not a techie person, you are not ready to build well this season. And of course, like I said, collaboration. Just a few examples of things you can do this season to make more money. Online courses. Without, when I learned how to build online courses, I didn't learn it from anywhere. I learned it from the internet. Now we have an academy with over 15 courses. Okay, and some of these courses are not cheap, literally. Okay, make money. Sometimes people buy from all over the world. Right now, after this call, I have another call at 7:30 for those on my Fit to Fly financial plan course. So they are it's a self-paced course, but once a week we come together to review what we have done. Online courses, ebooks, webinars. Some people are cashing out this season. When I started my first course, it was $2,500 on WhatsApp a few years ago. Now I can charge $200 per course. I look forward to charging $1,000, and people will buy because I pay the price and I keep improving and bringing value to the table. Templates and worksheets. Some of you, people are always tapping your brain. Let me quickly tap your brain. If people are tapping your brain concerning something, it is an indicator that you should package it together and begin to sell it. How to do videos, softwares, apps, coaching and mentoring. People are always tapping your brain and they achieve results. That should show you that you know what? You've got something in that direction. Put it together. If you have to get a coach or get somebody to help you put the cost together, do it. Because that is where the money is. Membership sites. Those are some of the things I taught in my DYD course, digitalize your diamond course. And it's a joy to see people putting these things to practice. Your life will change. Your finances will change. More money will come to you when there's value. A couple of online businesses you can do: blogging, freelancing, virtual assistants. I hired a virtual assistant this COVID period for our business page. Afterwards, I realized that my own personal page was growing and growing. That other one was stagnant. I'm like, hey, what's happening? I realized that, as versatile as I could be, when it came to, social media, providing value in that instance, I couldn't multitask. I'd been looking for who to do it. Then one day, a lady gets into my DM and says, "Ma, I'm a virtual like this. I can do this." You resonated with me. I'm like, "You sure? Send me. Let's talk." And I called her and I gave her a trial. Right in the middle of COVID, she's on her payroll now, churning out good quality stuff. I've never met her. I don't even know what she looks like. People are looking for virtual assistants. One of my mentors will say, "I just need somebody." She doesn't need to come to me every day. It's 2 days a week. But we talk online 1 day a week. People are looking for services. Those who have administrative skills, homemade products. Some people, this COVID period, they have started to bake, chin, this and that. That's how businesses start. Remote customer care. A lot of banks now. How many of you have called their customer line? You realize that people from Asia or whatever, Indians are the one picking the calls. Outsourcing. Affiliate marketing, you're selling. I am an affiliate marketer for a ticketing agency. And even in the middle of this COVID, I sold a ticket. And then they emailed me to say, "Okay, claim your commission." I looked at them and I was like, what? Even in COVID, even the ticket, the flights, because they have closed the airspace, the person has not even traveled. Yes, they have paid me their affiliate fee. Drop shipping, you sell people's products for them using their materials. I have somebody who does drop shipping. Now she has turned it into a course. She's teaching people. This is what you're empowered at. with, that you can empower others with. Okay, digital marketplaces, you can put your products on Jumia and all of that. Data sharing, mini importation. Okay, so these are just examples of things that you can do to empower yourself. I really would not want to go into how you can manage and multiply money, but because I believe this is about empowering, starting something and all of that. But let me end on this note, the wealth pyramid. 3 levels to making wealth. By the time you become empowered, you're making the money. You protect your wealth, okay? You make money, you have emergency funds, you start to put something aside all the time so that when anything happens, the little you have saved will not be wiped away. Then you start to create more wealth and accumulate more wealth. And as time goes on, you start to distribute wealth. Okay, well, I don't want to go into this. There's so many other things that I would have loved to teach, but I think I should stop here. I would have loved to teach the beast mode approach to your personal finance, but I think this should be it. Let me round off with this image. Have a financial plan. Grow your savings. Give your do a health check for yourself from time to time. Avoid lifestyle creep and invest more. And these are some of the things that woman must have done, because the Bible didn't record that she came back to Elisha to say that, hey, the money is finished again. No. And I'll tell you, and I say, but how do we know? The Shunammite woman, after I encounter with Elisha, she had a child and all of that, she went away. In some chapters after, she showed up again. Her story showed up. Because she had, after war broke out, she left the country, and then when she came back, all the things that belonged to her, they had been seized. So she ran to meet the prophet again, who helped her talk to the king. Okay? But this other woman, nothing was said about it because God settled her. She was okay. She learned all the things. She started to create wealth, and she accumulated it, and she was fine with her children all of her life, and she lived happily ever after. Okay, so I have more slides, but no, I am going to stop here. Thank you for having me, and I hope that you have learned something today from this presentation. Thank you.
We really appreciate the depth of your teaching today. Thank you very much. There's a question that was asked as you were teaching. The person says, how do you leverage or collaborate with people and not talk too much? Example, using the story of the woman. If you went on to borrow the vessels and her lenders probed her on what she wanted to use the vessels for, how best can you address such a situation without running your mouth?
Okay, so I really like that question. That's a brilliant question, and this is what I have to say. Now, we could look at it from 2 perspectives, okay? You want to collaborate with people. Sometimes there is an amount of information that you have to disclose. Now, I believe that the prophet told that woman, shut the door after you, because she already had 2 children who could help her. And he felt that the 2 boys were sufficient in that instance. Now, if the 2 boys were not there and the man of God felt that she would have needed people, okay, he probably would have said, get 2 of your neighbors, okay, and, talk with them, talk them into this. So it depends on what you're doing. So some people will say, this idea, nobody has it. I must not tell anybody. There are some things that you cannot scale without leveraging on people. Now, you must be able to apply wisdom. Naturally, I am a very, I guard my, how do I put it now? I guard my life, I guard my ideas, okay? Most times, people that know me, I do things that take people by surprise. Yeah, maybe I want to write a book, I might not tell you I've been working on it, and then just a few people who are pivotal, are the people that would know. But you see, I am also learning. My coach recently, was saying that, okay, you want to do a book, right? And then you don't want people to know, you want it to come as a surprise. And then you say, surprise. Okay, they know about the book. The surprise is out. How are you able to get them to buy? Do you know that another strategy is you talking about the book, and, eliciting anticipation in their minds so that they look forward to it. It made me see things from another point of view. I'm like, okay, so if I tell them this book is coming out, this is what we are going to be talking about, people might actually look forward to it. But see, the styles and the methods for everybody will differ. In recent times, I have worked more with people that are pivotal to what I'm doing in achieving particular goals. And I see that, I'm like, yeah, not bad. So knowing the right kind of people, knowing the information you divulge, okay, will determine how successful you would be. There are some things you might not necessarily have to divulge. Now, this woman, I believe at the end of the day, she might have even told maybe one or two of her neighbors who, would say, you have had my vessel for 1 week. What's happening? She might have a bestie who was not around her at that time. And she don't say, alright, you know what happened to me? Miracle new. But if the Bible were to include some of those little things, maybe the whole world will be the Bible. So we cannot say she did not tell anybody, but the instruction was clear. Whilst this miracle is ongoing, shut the door after you. Okay, so it really depends on the kind of project you're working on, what God has told you, or what your intuition tells you, or what is wise to do. Okay, so it may not mean don't tell people. Some projects will necessarily require you to tell, because some projects will require you to get big money from sponsors. The most important thing we should pray and look out for is sharing our ideas and collaborating with the right set of people. I have collaborated with somebody who went behind me to do things. I brought the jobs to the table, literally, and I said, follow up. I didn't know that person had gotten the jobs and had executed them and had collected money. I did not know until things went south and the person called me to say, I want to report this. I'm like, the business happened. I didn't know. And I was the one that connected them. And the idea was we would share the proceeds. Now, does that mean I will not tell people about some other things? I will not collaborate? No, I've collaborated with some people in some other things. People will always show their true color. That is the truth. And you will be able to discern who is what collaborating with. Some collaborations will fail from day one. Some collaborations might not pick up immediately, but some collaborations will stand the test of time. So look out for feelers, look out for pointers, look out for things that would make you realize the kind of people that you can work with. I hope that helps. So sometimes be discreet, sometimes you have to work with people. Sometimes you can do some of these things by yourself, really.
So, thank you very much, Coach. There's another question here. Said, I understand the need to diversify, but what or where is the place of passion in business when we're talking about diversification? And then I want to add these two questions together. Said, I want to know how to go about setting up several sources of income, particularly when and where children are involved. I mean, for a mother with young children and know-how self. I want you to answer those two questions together.
Okay, so somebody says diversification when it comes to business, your passion. Excuse me, more often than not, sometimes we tend to narrow our thinking. And I'll use myself as an example. Many years ago, I would tell people that, you know what, I am not cut out for business. My mental ability is where my strength is. And you know the reason I said that, or the reason I concluded, or the reason I had that mindset, the only kind of business I thought was business was, anytime I travel to America or the UK, I go to Marks and Spencer, I go to DSW, buy a few things, bring them to Nigeria, then I'll sell. And people will not pay me. So I thought business was just, impossible. I thought business was not my thing many years ago. That was then. Now, I am a full-scale business owner with a mindset for business. Okay? Now, that was a conditioning based on circumstances. So when we talk about diversification, see, diversification could come in different ways. And I'll use myself as an example again. I am a personal finance coach, but I am an accountant by training. In recent years, my passion has been teaching people, helping people to maximize their finances. The Holy Spirit once told me, you cannot just throw away years of experience. I pay huge sums every year for my subscriptions. I have a subscription from the UK, from Canada, from Nigeria, huge. So do I want to throw all of that to waste because my passion is in personal finance? So I collaborated with somebody and we formed a partnership that takes care of that accounting thing that I am not really passionate about, because that is an income source that has the potential of blowing. Literally, like, that word blow. It can bring in more money for me. So I partnered with her. I know people. I bring in the contacts. I bring in the people. She executes. We formed a small team. You know what? My passion is not really accounting, but I formed a business around it. And the Bible says, thou shalt not muzzle the mouth of the ox, right? What that means is that anything that has the potential of bringing money for you or to you, don't muzzle it. Don't muzzle. Don't close it. That's an example. So my passion is in personal finance, but I have created a system. So up to today, I am still reaping from that partnership. And in recent times, you're my sisters, the Holy Spirit is saying, now it's time to take that business a notch higher. And I'm like, God, I get you. So you see, passion, partnership, processes are things that can come into play to make money. Diversification can be you working with somebody. Remember, I talked about leveraging on other people's time, resources, systems to make more money. So your passion may be makeup. It don't mean that you cannot make money from other sources. Okay? You can partner with people to make more money. From the same makeup example, I tell people, if you are providing services, right, find a way of adding products to your services. Productizing your services. So if you're a makeup person, how can you productize it? Who says you can't manufacture your own products? I was with a friend, a few hours ago after I finished my recording, and we're talking about, they mentioned a lady, an hairdresser in the UK, that she's an hair coach. I said, hair coach? They said she has celebrities that she coaches on how they can manage their hair. I said, there's nothing we can do. So I was asking, I said, what does she do? She said, sometimes she flies into Nigeria. I can't remember her name now. She flies into Nigeria, she does whatever. I said, the next thing is for her to productize. What does that mean? She has a name already. She can start to roll out products. Look at BM Pro. She has products in the name. Look at Tara. They all started as who? Entrepreneurs. Makeup that will carry their bag on Saturday to go and do makeup. Look at them today. I sell services as a money coach, but I've written books. I have courses. I have productized my services. Now, if you are selling services, you sell products that have worked, how can you teach people how to do it? Through videos. Okay, so this passion thing, we're not going to, because we won't finish it today. But the essence of this conversation is, even in the Bible, first in the Garden of Eden, you cannot rely on one source of income. When you look at your budget, the outflows are diverse. more often than not, the inflow is one. If your outflows that are sacrosanct, you necessarily must spend money. Why would you now not diversify your inflow? It says cast your bread upon many waters. Whatever your hand finds to do, do. One of the secrets of the wealthy people is you think they sit on just one business type. No. On that cash flow quadrant, they are business owners, they are investors. Some of them are employees of their company, so they earn salaries. Okay? So when you say diversify your passion may not be in everything. Is my passion scotch egg and donuts and ego? No. I can't even bring my passion. Are you whining? But it gives me money. And your bank does not discriminate when credit alert comes in. What are you saying? It's about systems. It's about other people's systems, other people's skills, other people's talent. Find your way into it. Okay? Honestly, there's so much to say, but let me stop there. You are muted. You are muted.
Bank account does not discriminate where the money is coming from. We have a lot of questions on virtual assistant. Someone says, I have administrative skills. Someone says, as a secretary, she's looking at virtual assistant. And how do I become a virtual assistant?
Okay, so like I said, the person that I employed as a virtual assistant snuck into my DM, told me what she could do, showed me what she had done. And I said, okay, sounded convincing. What is your number? I'll call you. I called her. It didn't take time for her to convince me because the results were evident. So you want to become a virtual assistant. What administrative skills do you have? Starting from your own social media page. Are you somebody that will post today and then post in 2 months' time? Okay. Even if you are not a social media person, who around you is doing a business that you can volunteer for? To say, you know what, all right, I am building my virtual assistant skills. I can be customer care person. Let me help you manage your account. Once a day I will post. I have learned to do graphics. A virtual assistant must be more technologically enabled or driven. So you know how to use Canva. You know how to use Zoom. You can set up meetings. You know how to use Google Sheets. You have learned all of those things, and you practice. You use your friend's phone as guinea pig. Say, I can do it for you. You know what? If I get a multi-billionaire today who says, shall I be my virtual assistant? I will get the job. I will do it because I've taught myself. I use Google Sheets. I use all of those softwares and apps. I taught myself. The ones I didn't know, I went to learn. And I can do it. And one of my mentors, I managed a page for about 3 years without being paid to build consistency and to improve on my creative skills. So if you want to get it's not because I just said do virtual assistant. You must prove yourself capable and able. Okay? And as I was saying this, I don't know who this might be for. One of you here might you're so gifted and talented.
No.
You might start a school or have an office or an agency that recruits virtual assistants for people. Why not? Go online, virtual assistant job. There was a time I applied. And they took me into they gave me a job. I looked at it, so I was like, I just wanted to see how it worked. They gave me the job. I said, no, I don't want to. So online here, you know what? Some people they're in America, they have virtual assistants in Nigeria. Some people in Nigeria, they have virtual assistants in Canada. That's how global and how small the world has become. And I don't think local is Nigeria who will employ me. I do stuff for people overseas. There are people on my course who are overseas. So see, COVID, one of the blessings of COVID, it's a small world. I have people in my community, my inner circle. A lady teaching Yoruba, she has people in Canada that she's teaching. She has people in the US that she's teaching, and she's earning in dollars. She can be a virtual. There are people, upcoming entrepreneurs who want to focus on the core elements of the business. They need a bit of help here and there. So push yourself out also. oh, social media is not my thing. Social media is very evil. You are not ready for the game. Okay, so I think that's one of the ways. So be there where people can see you, learn skills, and then practice with somebody's page. Just build yourself from there.
All right, thank you. Thank you, Coach. There's this woman that asked that she has children.
Oh, okay.
So you have not talked about that.
What can she do? Okay, so I literally understand. I mean, I have a help. Honestly, I don't form superwoman because many people ask, how do you do it? One of the things I've learned is to be able to put structures and systems into my life. Win-win situation. There are things another person can do for me. There are things I have to do for myself. But anything anybody can do for me, honestly. And it starts by you have children at home. You're the one cooking. You're the one doing this, doing that. Can you afford to get somebody to come clean 3 times a week, sorry. The essence is you want to free yourself a bit. And especially when your children are still young. So I know it could be really inundating and exasperating. But nonetheless, you can start a business from home. You can start a business from home, digital businesses. The person who is working on my book right now is in Canada. The person, I'm just going to send the manuscript, is going to put it in a format that will be acceptable to Amazon. Okay? And he's going to do it for me. I'm going to pay. We haven't seen, but he's doing it from home. The lockdown period, I started a new course. I executed the course from home, did videos from home. So really, we are realizing that you necessarily do not need to go out of your home for you to make money. So what are the skills that you can learn? What are the skills you can deploy? How can you deploy them? So you have children at home. What are the things you can learn? What are products you can sell from home? I mean, I have people in my inner circle, the one doing chicken proteins. She's been supplying my proteins in the last 4 years or so, or 3 years. I just book, she orders, she brings my chicken. She's doing it from home, but now she has gone to a shop. She's not working for anybody. She's working for herself. So there are things, there are products, there are services you can render from home, depending on what you love to do and what you like to do, really. I hope that helps. You're muted.
Thank you so much. Thank you. Thank you. I can see people already volunteering their page for virtual assistants even here. So the collaboration is already on. In the absence of any new question, we just want to appreciate you, Coach Sola, for coming on Value Me this year. Value Me 2020 has been so amazing. Like back to back, we've been receiving exactly what we hoped for. Everybody, just say thank you to Coach.
Thank you, Coach.
Thank you.
Thank you, Ma.
Thank you, Coach. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Ma. God bless you.
Thank you so much,
Coach.
Wonderful.
Thank you so much.
Thank you, Coach.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
It's been
God
amazing.
bless you.
The program is not ended, so don't.
You can help share my
running away.
social media pages. You can share my social media pages.
We can mute now. We can mute now. She's still talking.
I was saying that you can help share my social media pages so that people can.
Yeah, people have been asking how they can have access to your courses. So I've typed www.solaadeshakin.com.
Let me tag a few things too.
You can reach Coach Sola on Instagram. He's on Instagram at Adesakin, Sola_Adesakin. She's on Facebook, Sola Smart Steward Adesakin. So you're welcome, everybody. And we appreciate you, Coach.
Thank you so much.
Thank you for the wisdom that you have given unto us. We have really been blessed. We have no excuse again. We have no excuse, no excuse. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Yeah, going back to our competition, I'm trying to share the screen on the winners. Pimoma. So the third position, Pimo.
He said he can't go to what is that? Always for you. Okay.
Hello, Pimo.
Yeah, hi.
Pimo.
Okay, hello everyone. Yeah, I can hear you.
Thank you.
What I should.
Thank you, ma. You have the floor, ma.
Okay. Good evening, everyone. I believe it has been an amazing conference or workshop from yesterday. You know, like we said yesterday, it's from glory to glory. You know, we were just going from one level to another, and it's just been so amazing. That's just the truth. It's been so amazing. So we're going to be rounding off the Value Me 2020 by announcing our top 3 winners, you know, for the what is it again now? What did we do? The award given to the NGOs. You know, looking at the videos online, it really humbled me because I'm like, wow, you know, babes are doing stuff. Babes are doing things. As in, it was just so humbling watching those videos, all the videos. In fact, right from the entries that came in, you know, all of them, so heartwarming, so encouraging. And I really want to use this opportunity to celebrate everyone who put in for the competition. Everyone, you guys are doing an amazing work. Whether you were shortlisted as one of the top 5 or not, you are doing an amazing work. And I'm really trusting God that in the near future, we would be giving out in millions. We'll be giving out in 500,000. We won't be doing this 50,000, 70,000, 100,000. By God's grace, we'll be doing a lot more, you know, than this. But we all know this is BR putting this together. So you can just imagine if we now have support and have, you know, support of organizations, which we will have. And, you know, mark my words, in the near future, we would have, you know, organizations support us that we can give much more, because I really wish we could give more than this. But with this, I know that these organizations will do wonders with it in Jesus' name. So I'm going to start. Can I have the third person, the second runner-up, please? Can I have the check for the second runner-up? Can I have that check up, Babes Binike? The 50,000. Can we have that up? The 50,000. The 50,000. And so the 50,000 award goes to, amen. Yes, so I agree with you. There will be an additional 0. So the 50,000, the second runner-up, goes to Home and Street Kids Welfare in Ilorin, Kwara State. A round of applause to them, honestly. They did so well. I was watching their video and I was just mesmerized. God bless you. Well done. This is just a token, and we are trusting that this will do something. It's a seed into what you're doing, and we believe that it will support this work that you are doing. God bless you. Thumbs up to you. On behalf of Babes Redefined, we present you with this check of 50,000 naira to support this amazing work that you're doing. And in addition to that, we're going to put your videos out on all our social media platforms. You know, at least it will run. We'll put it out by tomorrow or latest by Monday. And just to help you gain more publicity so that the world can see what it is that you're doing. So the first runner up is going home today with a 70,000 naira check. The first runner up and is going to Tabitha New Life Foundation in Lagos. Congratulations, Tabitha New Life Foundation. Congratulations. This is really amazing. We're super proud of what you're doing, reaching out to widows and widowers. The Lord prosper the work. The Lord bless you and keep you. And we pray and hope that, you know, this 70,000 is a seed to what you're doing, and it will help you even do much more. And there'll be more openings and more support for you in Jesus' name. Well done, well done. And also, like I said, we would put out your 1-minute video out there, you know, for people to know what you're doing and for us to lend our voice to what you're doing. Congratulations to you, Tabitha New Life Foundation. And of course, to our winner, I wish we had the golden buzz like they do, that will press the golden buzz and then the, you know, everything will go up. But the winner, you know, for this year's Value Me support program goes to Treasured Point of Life, Abeokuta, Ogun State. God bless you. God bless you. Well done. A big round of applause to them. You are going home with a check of 100,000 naira. And we are
Get money to be donating to other groups.
super proud of you. Super proud of what you're doing. Okay, sorry. Can you hear me now? Yeah. So we hope and pray that this would, you know, do something significant in what you're doing in the lives of those children, and we would be able to, you know, celebrate you even the more. It's such an amazing privilege for Babes Redefined to identify with all of you. We are super proud of what you're doing, and it is our joy. So congratulations to all of you, and to everyone, like I said, you've done so well, and we look forward to the amazing things that you will do even with this. So on behalf of Babes Redefined leadership and the entire membership, we say congratulations, and definitely you would be receiving the alert for this tonight. Thank you, and God bless you. Over to you, Babes Binike.
Congratulations to all our winners. We appreciate you. So this brings us to the end of 2020 Value Me. So let everybody put on their video. Let's have a test.